7:02 a.m. and I need to start making my way to LAX to catch a flight.
Is it true, folks? Is this young man finally going home? Oh, I'm glad.
I believe 10:55 it departs. And with traffic, I'm guessing probably going to take me an hour to get over there. Then I got to drop the rental car off and take the rental car shuttle.
Oh my goodness, Adam, you got so much to do. That's a lot to try and handle. Are you sure you should try to do all that in one day? Uh-oh, somebody's doing some actual work there on the hotel property. Adam has lost his train of thought. If you hear Adam speaking, all you lowly, unwashed masses, stop what you're doing. Avert your gaze if possible. A vlogger is trying to speak. He is really frustrated by this.
This is the pool. Morning.
All right, Adam's trying to take things into his own hands. Maybe if he says something, this person will stop their incessant cleaning.
Hot tub down here. Didn't have time to utilize either one of them. Doing FanFest and doing other things yesterday.
What do you mean you didn't have time? You have nothing but time. You can utilize anything, anytime, any day. You chose not to. That's fine. Do anything you want, but you had time.
My sleep pattern has been a little off, just simply because of the international trips, and even though I've been back from South Korea for over a week.
Closer to 2 weeks. You've been in Los Angeles longer than you were in South Korea, although Adam keeps trying to downplay that.
Give or take a day. I'm ready to get home, to be honest. Got my bags all packed up, everything's crammed in there, and ready to rock.
So our boy Woo is finally ready to go home. Bags are packed, caffeinated beverage, piping hot variety achieved. Didn't sleep a whole lot, but that's okay. He's tough.
And then there's this magnificent fountain. It's almost like the Walk of Fame with the stars down there, except there's no names on it.
Well, now maybe in Sheraton, I hope you're listening, maybe that can be a vlogger Walk of Fame. Adam's name can be the first one enshrined, followed by, I don't know, Justin Scard? Who do you guys think? Adam makes his way up the elevator to his rental car. I hope that coffee's good.
Oh, this coffee is good.
Nice.
Returning this rental.
You sure about that?
Now I just realized that this is in fact my rental car, not the other one I just showed.
Oh, what? All white cars look alike to you, Adam? Okay, I know what you're about. So Adam lets us know he did not plan to stay this long, folks. But when you're having so much fun, how can you go?
I extended my trip by 2 days. Was going to fly home Saturday and decided, no, I'm already here. I should do FanFest nights a second night. So I did it Saturday night. Just because probably never get that opportunity to go down into Hill Valley again from Back to the Future.
That's true. There is no guarantee that it'll happen again, but based on the amount of money I think that's come in from the event, it'll probably happen again next year. And wait, I thought Adam told us that he went to a second night of it because his ticket entitled him to a second night. And now he's saying the trip was changed because he decided to go a second night. But he would have always known that the ticket was good for a second night. It's too much to think about.
Travel day, LAX to MCO, Orlando International.
Flight Pete City, folks. Let's get through this together.
Not sure if I'll ever stay at the Sheraton again, but I was mentioning how Telly Savalas lived here yesterday. His room, as far as I can tell, was over near the pool on the top level, kind of right over here behind this tree. So you walk through a hallway over there. My room was on the lower level over in the far corner.
Hollywood. Some neat stories here.
Yes, and then unfortunately there's also your vlogs. Adam on his mad dash to drop off the rental car. I hope traffic is not bad.
This traffic's pretty bad. All right, it's 8:37. So not 10 minutes to the airport. I just talked to the associate, and they said it's going to be about 25 minutes. The traffic's pretty bad.
Adam, you are being far too nice. Do they not know who you are? Do they not realize that any kind of a delay is a delay in you getting home to your beloved celebration? Did you tell them that?
All right, got dropped off. That actually wasn't as bad. A little less than 25 minutes. Over here at T2. It's until 9, leaving Los Angeles.
Adam checking departures. He's looking for 23B, and it looks like it's all smooth sailing. He should have no trouble getting back. But still, every Woovian is waiting with bated breath to make sure. Did he get there in plenty of time?
Well, I got here in plenty of time. We'll see how the checkpoints are. We'll see how my luck is. I'm gonna say I'll be all right. I think I'll be okay. Took a little longer than I thought, but it wasn't too bad.
Folks, would you even recount just a semi-regular day at the airport to a friend or family member, much less make a video out of it? And the feet Pete to add insult to injury. Adam tells us why he has the Crocs on. They're for when he wants to be more cash, you know. It's not tennis shoe weather, as he says.
Easy to slip on and off when you go through the checkpoints.
Of course, because of this, Woovians remind him, are you doing the pre-check where you don't have to go through all that? Adam says, not even looked into it. He's been talking about it for well over a year, I believe, at this point.
Let's go over to the gate, pace around a little bit. I like to pace before a flight. I didn't need to show my passport today because I'm not flying international, all domestic.
Oh, good Lord. There was no reason to bring that up. None whatsoever. No one is thinking, you know, in all this, you haven't told us. Did you have to show your passport? And why would you? You're flying from California to Florida. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. And oh, yeah, did you know he goes to international destinations?
I guess on like May 7th, I believe the sign said, if you do not have a real ID license, driver's license, that they will not let you through anymore, so you have to upgrade to the real ID.
Ah, yes, the real ID. This was something that Woovian said, Adam, thank you. Thank you for bringing this up. So many of us have never heard of the real ID. Well, if you're a United States citizen, they've been talking about this for at least 5 years now. I can't believe that you have not heard anything about it, even if you're the most shut-in of Woovian. You know what, though, Adam? Level with us. Are you excited to get home?
I'm pretty excited to get home. After about a week there, I'll probably start thinking, where else am I going to get home?
Yes, we know, Adam. You're not going to stay there long. You're going to make sure you hold yourself to the at least one international trip per month. He's not got a lot of flexibility in May. He's got to be back for not only the 70th anniversary of Disney Day, but it's going to be, you know, I'm sure a week or more that he's going to take part in festivities. So whatever international trip this is, it doesn't appear to be a long one.
Little update, they do sell gum at LAX. A much smaller aircraft than the one I took from South Korea.
Yeah, I would think it would be, Adam. Yeah. Did you guys realize he went to South Korea?
I usually download podcasts and watch movies on the plane, but today I'm on the list. I downloaded the Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, Fahrenheit 182 audiobook. So
very punk of you, Adam. He wants to remind us the biggest Blink-182 fan ever.
Sitting in seat 5A. I believe it's a window seat.
Oh, he knows it's a window seat. If it wasn't, this video would be about 5 minutes long. Adam lets us know there is a food option, but you know what? He just doesn't feel like anything.
Great. I guess that is food for purchase. A fruit and cheese plate, a chicken salad sandwich, and our flight fuel boxes. Thank you so much.
Nice of Adam to let us know the plane has not diverted off course or anything. It is still going to Orlando.
Pull up to the gate. It is now 7:15 after getting off the plane.
Adam trying his best to have a reflective moment. Oh, if the people around him would keep quiet, especially the children.
Every time I land back here, it just always feels so good to be home. I love leaving and going and doing things, but just returning back to MCO, it's just such a nice feeling.
Loves leaving, loves coming back. It's just the staying he has a hard time with. The only thing Adam doesn't do a good job of is just acknowledging what he does and doesn't want to do. He clearly does not enjoy international travel, other than to check it off of a list. Could care less about other cultures, doesn't want new experiences, doesn't want to be there. A lot of people don't like international travel. Completely understandable. Just do you, Adam.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Arrived, or I just have arrived. I arrived.
Perfectly done. I have no feedback.
I'm noticing how empty it is. Like no one's like the lines to go for departures. Pretty mellow.
I don't even know what that means. There are meant to be people in an airport, so when there's not pretty mellow,
Connect to my driver. Here's a safety tip.
So keep that in mind, ladies. Do not accept a ride from the Woo. I did a short on this next thing, and if you didn't get to experience that, I'm sorry, but I'm going to force you to this time.
I've noticed too, whenever if you go anywhere, fast food, any quick service place.
So any quote-unquote quick service place to the Woo can mean virtually any business whatsoever. He also says quick service because he wants to act like eating at a street food stand or going in a convenience store is a travel hack. So you're not having to go into a restaurant. It's a whole thing.
Any coffee shop, 99 out of 100 times, the associate, when they tell you the total, let's say the total is $6. At any quick service, fast food place, they're always going to, or even a convenience store, anything, 99 out of 100 times, the associate will say, it's going to be $6. It's going to be $3. It's going to be $2.99. I've just noticed that every person that's ringing up your total, with the exception of 1 out of 100, so 99 out of 100, that's the percentage I'm saying. That sounds extreme. But when you get the coffee, let's say it's $6, they'll say, it's going to be $6. At least that's my experience. Not the total is $6. I think it's just a comfortable way of telling someone that's the total. It's been that way for years.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So the Woo returns to his Woo mansion, and his brilliant thought for the day is, I'm going to recap my last 3 weeks that I've shown you already. Yes, really.
Hot band, just because the cover looks so awesome in Seoul, South Korea. So I'm interested in giving that a little spin on vinyl here while I'm going to be back home.
So definitely look forward to seeing that on Instagram for those of you that follow over there. Adam chilling with some South Korean pop music on vinyl. Isn't that a great way to start your day? Adam goes through all the little trinkets and baubles and everything that he picked up. And again, that we've already seen.
North Korean money that I got at the DMZ, and I didn't realize how much or how many South Korean bills I brought back.
So this serves a dual purpose. Of course, Adam, as we know, this is a conversation and a video mainly for himself, for posterity, for Elder Woo to look back on. He's reminding himself of what he did, but he's also reminding the audience, the naysayers who are talking about all the Back to the Future and him having a good old time in Los Angeles, leaving South Korea early. He wants to remind you of all the things that he did in South Korea. Then, of course, we tour the Great Hall of Magnets. He talks about the magnets that were procured and the ones that will be coming in the future, because, oh yes, they will be coming. And he just loves these cabinets.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.
So that vlog may be over, but our time together is not. Let's delve into another episode of Adam the Woo coming at you now. So first day back home in several weeks, we would expect Adam to take the day off, right? Well, no, not going to do that. But he will meet you at Walk and Talk, or Talk and Ride.
Been gone for over 3 weeks. In fact, I am leaving a week from today to go to my next international destination.
So exactly, folks, don't get it twisted. Adam is very much still an international traveler. Don't you forget it. So he's got to make the most of his time back in Celebration. It's going to be exciting.
Today's just going to be a casual day, cruising around town, go get some coffee. See where the day leads. I'm inviting you, yes you, to join me.
And it is pretty interesting where this video will take us. Adam peruses the weather app to make sure it's optimal woo weather for optimal woo enjoyment. And of course, what does he got to get first? A piping hot caffeinated beverage. Adam has been a fairly late adopter to mobile ordering because the ordering aspect, well, it was content in the past, but it also meant dealing with the public, something that Adam likes to do as little of as possible. So he fully embraces it now.
I placed my mobile order over here at the Starbucks. I found that's the quickest way. Usually when I'm just down the road, I'll place the mobile order. By the time I get here, it's ready to rock. Coffee achieved. Cheers.
Cheers to you as well, Adam. Wait a minute. There's no way he's going...
So while I was gone, I heard the news.
Oh, come on, Adam. You're not going to make this about you. You've already put out messages on social media about your thoughts for the victims, even though it was one person. Really?
That someone drove off the road up here. I'm kind of wondering, because of that, if they will put some little barricades and the concrete pylons in right there. And the person drove off into the water. In fact, you can see they have a gate up there. Not a gate, but those little, I guess you call them stanchions and the cones and all that. And sadly did not survive.
It just had to say stanchion as well. Adam, one of his greatest regrets of traveling recently was that he could not be here to take advantage of that. He would have given anything to get back, but it just wasn't possible. So now Adam has switched off that side of him. It's back to your regularly scheduled programming. And if you thought complaining about trash in the same water where somebody lost their life might be something the Woo wouldn't do, well, I'm afraid you would be wrong.
I'm standing here, so anyone that lives in Celebration pays a pretty good amount of HOA. I would say the HOA here, the HOA fees here, Homeowners Association, are very obvious. But one thing I noticed they never do is they never clean this whole section here. Like, the whole town is pristine and beautiful and well maintained. The hedges are clean. The gardening is kept up to par. No trash anywhere. Except for some reason, always right here.
Well, Woo, you could always volunteer to help out. But no, the exorbitant HOA fees, Adam is not happy that every single square inch of Celebration is not pristine. Now, he does say he has a workaround. He has a hack. Don't worry about it. If he looks straight out, all he sees is beauty. He doesn't notice the trash. So he tells himself, just don't look down. Another hallmark of the Heck-It Walk and Talk Day is to recap everything that you've already recapped. So he talks about the Back to the Future Fan Fest, how much fun he had, that this area reminds him of that because he attended a Back to the Future event here, got to meet some of the stars of the movie, a Woo-Peat extravaganza.
Because no one's in here. It's just like a little cubbyhole of nothing.
I feel like that's the more appropriate name for the corridor of goons.
Post office? That post office, formerly the home of my retired P.O. box that I used a few years ago when I did the free sticker and pen giveaway, which was really That's really something. I want to do another giveaway at some point.
So Adam reflects back on the nightmare that was the sticker and pin giveaway. He had a horrible time. The post office was furious with him. He talks about that he didn't realize that the demand would be so high. But again, when you have 700,000 plus subscribers, you have 50 to 70,000 hardcore fans that will watch almost anything. Even if you got 10% of that wanted something for free, it's going to be a high volume. Adam says that he wants to do more giveaways, and that's a precursor to the rest of this conversation in the video.
I also have some other ideas that might not come to fruition this year because I'm doing so much international stuff.
So this is our major revelation in the video. It is the shape and scope of what 2026 Adam the Woo is going to be. He will probably do one event. He talks about a meet and greet. That probably will happen, at least one this year. But it'll be the focus of 2026. A celebration of the Woo. A national tour where the Woo can be properly celebrated by venues and by people. Of course, he'll try to say nobody's going to show up, but we know different.
I thought I would think like a meetup tour would be really neat, to just travel around and then maybe on the weekends do a meetup in different places across the country.
So right off the bat, I know what you're all thinking because I'm thinking the same thing. There's no way this happens. He could not properly organize the free pin and sticker giveaway through the mail with the people requesting already giving him a self-addressed stamped letter. He could not make that work, and yet he's wanting to do a national tour by himself.
T-shirts, stickers, pins, paraphernalia, patches, items, all for free. Meetup would be free. All the merchandise would be free. And maybe just hypothetically, maybe even exclusive merchandise for each of the locations I am at to give away for free.
So you're probably thinking, what in the world is this about? Because this seems to get bigger and bigger as he's talking about it. And we know majority of this stuff is not going to happen. I do think an event will happen this year. He talks about it being in Orlando. I think that will happen. He'll have a venue that'll reach out. He'll have a screen printing company that'll reach out, offer to do all this stuff for free, organize it for him. He'll do that. He is tired of the comments, not the comments here, not the videos that are done about him. I think Adam is, really great when it comes to critical videos. He doesn't really care. What he does care about is when comments show up on his videos from his fans, not from trolls. He hates to hear from the average Adam the Woo viewer who starts to criticize the way he treats fans, pompous nature, not having meet and greets, not thanking the fans. That really angers him. And that's a big part of why he's discussing this now.
Anyway, probably will not happen this year, but possibly in 2026. Look at that sun. It is scorching. And my place in life now, my career in life, just how things are going. I'm doing all right.
So part of this is also the criticism of the views getting lower and Adam getting more desperate. Reason Adam's doing more frequent content, even though he said he was going to step back from daily videos. That's some of this too. He wants to assure everybody he's doing just fine. He's doing just fine. And if he ever wants to do meet and greets and actually meet the fans when it seems like he avoids the fans, and again, that's some of the criticism too, and that's some of what's out there in the forums as well that he is reading and aware of. Is he's even had to put out a few fires about how he was supposedly rude with fans, and he said that's not true, that never happened. So that's a lot of this too.
And that even means if I do something that's free, I don't want it to be at an event that is charging for it. Example, conventions. People always ask, why we don't have a table at this convention? First of all, I would go stir crazy sitting behind a table, and I would just never do that. Nor would I want to take money from people who are, paying to meet me. For me personally, it's not what I want to do.
So the Adam the Woo criticism Reddit pointed out a really good thing about this point in particular is that going to conventions, never being asked to be a part of panels like other contemporaries of his are, Justin Scard, for example, that really upsets Adam. You know, he's not appreciated in the community like he thinks he should be. Above all else, that is what Adam feels like in his Golden Woo years as he's watching all of his videos, that there will be some sort of Adam the Woo repository where he can properly be appreciated. And people don't recognize him like he thinks they should.
But that's the reason I don't do really any events for doing a meetup. I just never want anyone to ever take money out of their own pocket that when it comes to anything I do.
And you know, I don't want to say that I fully doubt what he's saying here. Adam has left a lot of money on the table, but I think the main reasons he has is because he doesn't want to fool with it. It's too much. The last meetup that he had overwhelmed him.
And maybe it's a dumb idea. Maybe I'm just turning down money. There's a possibility of that.
Adam mentions that he doesn't really like the aspect of going and paying money. He says a couple bucks. It's quite a few more than a couple bucks to get the autograph of a celebrity that he enjoyed from movies or TV.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just the way my mindset works. It's just not something that I want to, at this stage in the game for me, I don't want to ever, or I don't ever want to do. So even though, you know, I'll be the consumer that does that. I know other people probably would be for me too, but
I think he's 100% right in that. As silly as it is to think that somebody would pay for Adam the Woo's autograph, they would. I think he's 100% correct. And he's probably leaving hundreds, if not thousands, a month on the table because he doesn't take advantage of that. So I do respect that aspect.
You know, creating your brand and then selling your brand, but this stage of the game, I'm not doing that either. And a lot of people do bring up, well, you should sell stuff and then give them all the money to charity. The problem is, I would rather just give money to charity on my own terms than have someone else have to give to that.
I'm going to try to summarize some of the rapid fire thoughts that Adam is putting out there. He talks about charity. I think that is definitely coming from the pushback that he gets about not being more active and involved in charitable causes. Again, he wants people to know he is not beholden to anybody. That's the reason he doesn't do charity streams. That's the reason he doesn't do Patreon anymore, even though it took him years to stop. That's the reason he doesn't sell shirts. He doesn't want to have people think they owe Adam anything. The main point he drills down at least 4 or 5 times a year in these walk-in talks is that he owes you nothing. He puts out content. If you want to watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. He doesn't understand that the money doesn't just magically appear in his account. It takes people watching. It takes people being involved.
So I guess if it ever comes down to it where if I start doing conventions or if I start selling stuff again, or if I ever put a money tag on anything, there's no paywall behind anything. If I ever do that, you'll probably know that I'm not doing as good as I once was.
Adam again reinforces it's the consistency that's the key to his success. The consistency. Again, not the people, it's him. It's Adam. That's the central theme in all this.
And I wasn't putting consistent content out, then maybe my thoughts would change. They might change. I wasn't even expecting to talk about any of this, but
might as well, Adam. You got to fill it with something. Whatever happened to that Woodio?
I have talked about this before a couple of years ago. I did a whole video on it. People always ask how I make money. They think that I have like a trust fund.
I'm cutting out a huge section here. I don't think I can take it. I know you can't take it. Adam goes through his whole history, and I mean everything from the beginning to current. People think he has a trust fund. People think he had a rich uncle. People still ask him in the comments, how do you make money? If anybody is asking you that, Adam, they're a moron. Everyone knows how you make money. They know it's from AdSense. They know that you have made a very good living for a long time. So Adam goes through everything. He taught one funny part of it. He does talk about how he was able to buy a house, and he gives kind of a, But yeah, we don't need to hear all that again. I thought this part was kind of interesting. He talks about when he mentions this to fellow creators. They think he's a bit crazy because he doesn't more utilize the brand, as he put it earlier. And honestly, I think it makes them look a little bit bad, because Adam refers to those sorts of things as beneath him, selling merchandise, doing Patreon, things like that.
I've had many conversations with a lot of people about this, honestly. And it's kind of like talking to a wall. And part of the reason I am continuously filming videos, even when I want to say, maybe I'll take a break for a while. Maybe I'll take a couple weeks off. The reason is because if you don't, I'll use the word work, people are going to chime in and say, oh, you don't have a job.
Adam hates to be told that. A lot of this goodwill tour, too, that he's talking about is, I think, a reflection of how angry he seemingly has been in the comments lately. Even he talks about the 4,000 vlogs that he's done. He didn't know he had done that. It was a fan that pointed that out. And then he's really ran with that. But he's talked about, instead of thanking the fans, it was, well, they said I would never last. They said this would never be a job. And I think he's trying to put out a kinder, gentler woo.
But the reason I am working at this channel consistently is so I don't have to rely on the aspect I've been talking about.
I think that was really well put, because when you think about it, what Adam is saying is not only just to survive, but if he wants to live the lifestyle he is living, the jet set lifestyle, paying for the home in cash, all those sorts of things, yeah, it's going to take him doing constant videos, or at least he thinks it does. I truly, and a lot of other people have mentioned this, think if he did 2 or 3 videos a week, but put more effort in. That's the only reason that I say a lot of this stuff that he quit doing was just out of pure laziness, because we see that reflected in his content.
Anyway, I'll talking about that. Hope that made sense. It probably didn't.
Adam goes on another long diatribe explaining the history of him having a Patreon and how he needed people to help fuel the woo, etc., merchandise, etc., etc. And that it was in the early beginning of his channel, and it was only then, and pretty quickly on, he didn't need it anymore. He has said in the past that it took till 2015. 2015, that always comes back, his favorite year. 2015 for him to ever see real money from the channel. Well, he kept Patreon for several years after he said he was getting rid of it. So which is it?
For any of the help all in those early years, very, very early years of me doing this, starting in 2011 when I quit my job, I don't think I need to be doing this anymore. So I just wanted to chime in with that little footnote as well.
So Adam's been all over the place in this one. Now he knows he needs to get back on track, back to hammering home what is 26 and now possibly 27 going to look like.
Free meet and greet, free merchandise tour that I could probably do it next year in 26. Maybe stretch it to 27, full U.S. tour, giving away merch, swag, meeting some people. But I feel like it's been a while since I've done a meetup. I should probably do one this year locally, maybe in the Orlando area.
So again, this one I think he will definitely do. He'll find a way to make that one work. A venue has probably already reached out to him by now about getting this one done. The future, I don't know.
It just popped in my head in the last couple months. Figured I'd just share it out and about here in the episode. But basically when I was in a band, we would always, my hair is, hold on a second. When I was in the band, my hair is not wanting to cooperate with this hat.
Oh, a young man in their hats. Incorrigible. Adam is all over the place now. He talks about how he got started on YouTube in a band, then figured out he could do what he was doing with the band by himself. It'd be easier to do that on YouTube. Then it cuts to him possibly wanting to be in a band again.
I have this fantasy about being in a band again. Who knows, maybe I will. But instead of loading equipment in and out, playing shows,
this just gets more bizarre by the minute. So now it's not about playing music. It would be great if you were in a band, but you didn't have to play music. You would just meet people and give them stuff. What? What are you talking about?
I have to have an establishment that would let me go to those places set up. Obviously, I'd also have to get a hold of a local merchandise company. I don't know if I would take everything with me. It'd probably have to be done on the spot, and it wouldn't be an everyday kind of meet and greet.
So again, I think we can all imagine there's no way this happens. He's talking about he wanted to handle it all himself. Why doesn't he simply, if money's no object, hire a management company that does this sort of thing, that will set up all these dates, will get in touch with these venues, will make sure the merchandise is there. Can he do it cheaper by himself? Sure. But we know Adam's never going to follow through with this. And now he's also wanting the venues to maybe produce their own unique merchandise that they're willing to give away as well, because Adam won't agree to be there unless it's all free. And there's so many moving parts that there's no way this happens. The meetup in Orlando this year, absolutely it will.
Find a place, like I said, a music shop, skate store, some sort of counterculture-esque type of thing.
Because don't you for a second forget that Adam is punk rock. Yeah! So Adam continues to recap everything that we've already heard. I think what he's wanting to do, it's almost too late for it. 5 years ago? Sure. And whatever he decides to do, if he does some sort of nationwide tour, he'll have people show up. Of course they'll show up if it's free, but I think they would show up anyway. But what is the point of this other than a celebration of himself? And that's kind of what I feel it is. Adam talks about the meet and greet that he did on Super Bowl Sunday. And people said nobody will show up on Super Bowl Sunday. But he did it because, he could care less about the Super Bowl. I think, if I remember correctly, he wasn't even aware it was the Super Bowl. And people told him no one would show up. And it was a huge crowd. And again, everything has to be Adam overcoming the naysayers who told him not to do it or it wouldn't work, and consistency, and never challenge him because he'll always meet the challenge. But that was possibly the past Adam. This Adam is somebody who says a lot and does some and sometimes even most of it. But there's a lot of things that don't happen, and I happen to feel like this is going to be one.
Yeah. So I didn't even know what this episode was going to be about, and now I've just kind of unleashed the floodgates of my mind. Let's see what happens.
Let's do that indeed, Adam. Thanks so much, everybody, for being with me, Aaron, with Passing Through Productions. Hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Thanks so much for being here.